Welcome back to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today because we're going to unlock something incredibly powerful. We're breaking down a fascinating analysis from the creator Mr. No Plan A that completely deconstructs how we debate, discuss, and, well, disagree. We're going to build you a battle-tested conversational arsenal. See, by looking at thousands of debates, this source material has actually cracked the code on why the absolute smartest people in the room aren't always the ones who walk away winning the arguments. We're going to walk through 6 secret methods, ranking them from the foundational stuff to absolute game changers to make you pretty much unstoppable in any discussion.
You know that feeling when you think of the perfect comeback hours later? You're in the shower or maybe you're driving home and suddenly your brain just hands you the exact brilliant thing you should have said? We've all been there. It's so frustrating. You walk away from a debate feeling angry, totally unheard, and completely outmaneuvered. But the reason that happens, it's because we fundamentally misunderstand what an argument actually is. This explainer is going to show you how to stop losing those discussions before you even open your mouth.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Phase 1, winning before you start.
So before we can even touch the advanced techniques, we actually have to unlearn our absolute worst argumentative habits. Our natural instinct is usually to put our dukes up, right? Fight force with force. But as you'll see, that's exactly what sets us up for failure. The core philosophy of this whole strategy is really simple. The old way is obsessing over being right. It's this emotional, aggressive battle where you're just trying to bludgeon the other person with your correctness. But the new way is being smart. It means reframing the concept entirely. It is not an emotional street fight. It's a strategic, calculated game. When you focus on being smart, you keep your cool, you look at the board, and you maneuver your opponent exactly where you want him.
And that brings us to method 1, the agreement trick. It all starts with a very simple phrase. You make a fair point, but. The source describes this as essentially conversational judo. Think about it. When someone attacks your idea saying it's stupid or wrong, your gut instinct is to yell right back. Don't do it. Instead, agree with them first. Tell them they make a fair point about a specific detail, but maybe there's just one thing that doesn't quite add up for you. This is absolutely brilliant because it takes their attacking energy and uses it entirely against them. They're bracing for a fight and boom, you hit them with agreement. It confuses their brain, completely drops their defensive guard, and actually makes you look incredibly confident and reasonable.
Moving right along to Phase 2, traps and magic words.
Now that we know exactly how to lower their guard, we're going to escalate into some tactical maneuvers. These are techniques designed to guide your opponent's thinking without them even realizing you're the one steering the ship. Method 2 is called the question trap, and this actually comes from one of the smartest figures in ancient history, Socrates. Instead of aggressively telling someone they're flat out wrong, you ask these innocent questions that force them to figure it out themselves. Say someone makes a sweeping claim like, good grades automatically means someone is highly skilled. Don't fight them on it. Just ask, so you think high grades automatically make someone more skilled, but don't you think other abilities matter too? Suddenly, they start seeing the cracks in their own logic. These questions act as invisible little traps. The opponent ends up arguing against themselves, and because they're the ones doing the convincing, they actually believe it. You're not the enemy. You're just a helpful person asking some innocent questions.
And this brilliantly illustrates our next tactic, Method 3, the magic word swaps. The exact words you choose can literally make or break your entire argument. Take a really combative phrase like, you're being ridiculous. Well, that instantly starts a war, right? The other person's ego is bruised and they're going to fight you to the bitter end. But swap that out for a conversational phrase, I feel frustrated by this logic. That starts a productive discussion. You aren't attacking them personally, you're just stating your own state of confusion. Tiny linguistic swaps like this prevent wars and open up pathways for actual genuine persuasion.
Let's open up this magic words arsenal just a little bit further. When you use words like obviously, clearly, or everyone knows, you're framing your argument as undeniable common sense. Saying, obviously saving money makes sense hits so much harder than just saying, I think we should save money. Furthermore, the source material highly recommends using single answer questions like, wouldn't you agree that being healthy is important? I mean, of course they're going to say yes. Now you literally have them physically nodding along with you. Add in the bonus tip of maintaining intense eye contact while you do this, and it signals absolute, unwavering seriousness. They kind of can't help but fall in line with your momentum.
All right, time for the heavy artillery. Phase 3, overwhelming with structure. We're moving past gentle persuasion here and stepping into techniques designed to completely dominate the cognitive load of your opponent. I mean, have you looked at the 23% failure rate? What about the current market data? Did you see the expert feedback in the long-term projections showing the absolute worst-case risks? Okay, that feeling of sudden panic I just gave you? That right there is Method 4, the information bomb.
When someone challenges you, you just hit them with a sheer wall of data. You rapidly fire off statistics, failure rates, market risks, expert projections, the whole shebang. And here is the incredible psychological secret behind this: the data doesn't even need to be perfectly flawless. The goal here is sheer volume. You're forcing their brain to try and process so much information simultaneously that it simply starts shutting down. They feel completely outgunned. They just assume you must be right because you clearly know so much more than they do. When human beings can't respond to everything, they usually just concede and respond to nothing.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is I am actually using it on you right now to explain why it feels perfectly trustworthy. Method 5 is the magic number 3. Human brains are quite literally hardwired to view groups of 3 as complete, trustworthy, and completely satisfying. 1 reason feels incredibly weak. 2 reasons? Kinda incomplete. But 3 reasons? 3 feels perfect. Always give exactly 3 reasons. It ensures you sound completely prepared, and it brings massive structure and clarity to your argument. When you consistently deliver exactly 3 points, your audience subconsciously believes you've thought the issue through entirely. It's a psychological hack that makes everything you say instantly more convincing.
Moving on to phase 4, the conversation killer. We've lowered their guard, we've trapped their logic, and we've totally overwhelmed their processing power. Now, we prepare for the final blow. Method 6, the ultimate weapon. Ranked as the #1 best method in our source material. This isn't about sustaining a debate anymore. This is about ending it completely. The conversation killer. It relies on one devastatingly punchy line. I love how confident you sound about something you learned 5 minutes ago. Boom. Game over. But the absolute secret to the conversation killer isn't just the words. It is entirely about the timing. You do not rush this. You wait patiently for them to overextend themselves, or for them to say something that clearly makes absolutely no sense. And when they do, you don't get mean, you get smart. You deliver a short, calm, confident line that points out the obvious flaw in their logic so brightly that literally everyone in the room sees it. When executed perfectly, you don't just win, you dominate. The opponent is left completely speechless.
Okay, take a breath. Let's move into our final phase. Phase 5, mastering your new arsenal.
Knowing these 6 methods is fantastic, but we really need to talk about how to actually implement this training into your real day-to-day life without looking like a robot reading from a script. What separates the absolute professionals from the amateurs is that the pros don't just use one single method, they seamlessly combine forces. Imagine this flow. Someone attacks your idea. First, you lower their guard with the agreement trick. Then, you present your counterargument structured perfectly with the magic number 3. If they try to challenge you on a tiny detail, you deploy the information bomb to overwhelm them. And if they finally overextend in frustration, you end the whole thing with the conversation killer. It's a fluid, dynamic chain of tactics.
So, the crucial point is, you have to be adaptable. Every single person reacts differently to different approaches. You literally cannot use the information bomb on someone who is deeply emotional, just like the agreement trick might not work on someone who thrives on pure hard data. Read the room. Read the person standing in front of you. Picking the right technique for the specific situation is the true secret sauce that will make you practically invincible in a discussion.
We have covered a massive amount of ground today, from conversational judo and Socratic traps to data bombs and ultimate finishing moves. The source material is crystal clear on this. Knowing these tactics just isn't enough. You have to practice them in the wild. So ask yourself right now, which method will you deploy first? Pick just one. Try it out in your very next conversation.